Welcome back to our Atlanta studio, everybody. Later on tonight on TNT, you got the Houston Rockets in Philadelphia, which means the hottest player on the planet, James Harden, who scored 163 points over his last 3 games. Ooh. The 4th largest total over a 3-game span since the NBA-ABA merger. You coached James Harden. How are you surprised by this? I mean, you know what he's capable of, but this stretch he's on right now is sort of silly.
Yeah, he's on another level right now that, you maybe envisioned he could do something like this, but not this. I mean, he's just taken over. And the most impressive thing is they're winning. He has the ball in his hands a lot. He plays bully ball when he comes downhill on you. And there's just no way. He's always looking for contact. He's got to be able to go to the line. But to put up these numbers, honestly, it really is just ridiculous. 163
points without a single assisted basket in that 3-game stretch. Now, the free throws, he gets to the free throw line more than anybody.
So no one's thrown him a pass where he's
not
caught
a
and shot
single
it?
basket in those 3 games in which he has received a pass.
That might be more
scored.
amazing than 163
it's
points.
Unbelievable. How hard, try to put that in perspective, how hard is it for a guy to create his own shot to that degree that he's literally doing it by himself?
Well, it's extremely difficult to do in the NBA. And in fact, I don't know if I ever heard of such a stat in basketball, the 163 points unassisted. Mm-hmm. That means literally you playing by yourself, mm-hmm. and no one else is really touching the ball or getting a chance to fill it. Now, the thing that's really impressive, I watched LA play him last night or a couple of nights ago, and they jumped on his left side and they had a defensive, scheme kind of working. I thought, the first quarter, James was a little flustered by it, but by, halftime, he had figured it all out, mm-hmm. And he's seeing different looks every single night, different schemes on how to stop his individual outbursts. And normally when teams throw a different scheme at you, your immediate response is to, okay, well, if you're going to double team me or make it difficult for me, I'm going to give it to somebody else, and they're going to kill you tonight. James's response to, oh, you're going to put 2 on me? Okay, well, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to score.
Right.
Oh, you're going to try this defensive scheme on me? Okay, well, I'm going to do this, and I'm still going to score. And that is unique in itself because most basketball players, when you try to scheme them or double team them, they're saying, okay, I'm going to give it up to John, mm-hmm. I'm going to give it up to Mike, or I'm going to give it up to Bill. James is like, no, that ain't enough. You need to come with a little bit more because I got this thing humming.
And the one thing like not having an assisted basket means he's never out running a wing because it's just by accident if you're out running a wing ahead, I'm going to throw you the ball and you're going to lay it in or catch and shoot it. So that means he's waiting for the ball, getting it in the backcourt, initiating the offense from the backcourt. Boy, that's a heavy lift.
Yeah.
I mean, can he keep it up?
I don't know. 12 40-point games over his last 19, including 3 50-point games along the way. Again, they're in Philadelphia tonight.
Matt,
Jimmy Butler will be out for the 76ers.
Can we say this to the kids out there? Don't try
this at home.
This whole unassisted 163-point thing.
Yeah. Don't do that.
It ain't for everybody.
No. Pass cut, move, space.
Yes, all that stuff is good.
Yeah.
Lakers had the Rockets on the ropes, let them get out of that, and Houston won that game on Saturday night. Tonight, they've got the Golden State Warriors coming to town. Second look at Boogie Cousins as a Warrior. What'd you think of his debut?
Yeah, I thought he looked pretty lively. I was expecting him to be a little bit more lethargic. He looked like he was a bit lighter, like he had lost a little bit of weight, and I thought he moved well. He was more, a little more spry than I thought he would be. I thought he would labor a little bit more after that injury and stuff. But the one thing that Boogie's got a high basketball IQ. He knows how to play this game. Yeah. Now, he may not always play the right way, and he may get mad at some other stuff, but he really knows how to play. My big concern on him in Golden State is they're not going to be able to switch a lot of stuff that they used to switch with him in it. They're just not going to put him on it. They're going to have to scheme it. Guys are going to have to get over and work. The guards guarding the ball are going to have to work harder now as Boogie kind of gets back in more of a defensive posture, not up high switching. He's going to be back just absorbing everything. Yeah. So the guards are going to have to work harder.
And I think those consistent 14 to 16 points that he's going to be able to give you night in and night out. Then he may give you the outbursts of 24, 25. But those 14 to 16 that Looney was not getting, that's going to be enough cushion for Golden State to really start having more blowouts. The other thing that I was really impressed with Boogie running the floor.
Yeah.
I thought the way he ran the floor, he's been sitting back watching, and he's figured out, okay, the way that I can score is to run the floor, because the defense, once it's in transition, everybody's flowing out to the three-point line to guard Durant, to guard Curry or Thompson, and the middle of the lane literally is wide open. And he got a couple of easy layups just by running the floor and getting down into the paint. So
he never necessarily was explosive, but he's always been able to run well. And he certainly did that the other night, which he called one of the best days of his life. That's how excited he was to return to basketball. Warriors have won 7 in a row as they hit the floor at Staples Center tonight against the Lakers. More coming up here on Game Time, presented by Kia on this important American holiday, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Back here in Atlanta, the resting place and birthplace of Dr. Martin Luther King on this holiday. Plenty of basketball happening around the NBA, including the game right now on TNT. The Pelicans in Memphis, place of some significance, obviously, on this day, the Memphis Grizzlies. Rookie Jaren Jackson Jr. is having a nice rookie season, and that is impressive at his age. He's second in the league in blocks per game among rookies, for instance, but that's nothing compared to what you're about to see from 6-year-old Jaren Jackson Jr. Here he is at the buzzer.
I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in every dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. Free at last! Free at last! Thank God! Free at last!
Nailed it as a 6-year-old, which, by the way, was like 13 years ago. It wasn't that long ago.
But
he had good height for a 6-year-old.
Yeah, he was 6'2" as a 6-year-old.
He had a good height for a 6-year-old as well.
I'm sure he was being asked for his birth certificate a lot when he was young.
Pee-wee basketball, like you walk in.
That guy is not 10.
Yeah, exactly. But how impressive. Didn't even look at his script. He's reading off the speech, so pretty impressive.
Well, it's impressive, but then when you think about who his parents were, mom and dad, and, it's not impressive. He was taught well, and he was raised well, and, when you meet him, he treats people with the kindness, the dignity, and respect that his parents taught him.
Nice.
Big day. Enjoy the basketball. Consider the meaning of the day as well. Civil rights are human rights. Treat each other like humans. Be nice to each other for the rest of the day and the days moving forward. We appreciate you stopping by. This has been Game Time Live, presented by Kia. For Kevin and Zeke, I'm Matt. Enjoy the basketball, folks.
The good games are coming up.
Philadelphia 76ers and Adrian Wojnarowski tweeted, as he is wont to do, that the Rockets have agreed to trade Carmelo Anthony and cash to the Chicago Bulls. We expect the Bulls then to turn him around and release him for Melo to become a free agent. It'll save the Rockets some cap money moving forward, and Melo will become, as I said, a free agent available to anybody around the league. The question here, guys, is what kind of market will there be for Carmelo Anthony at this stage of his career and at this stage of the season?
I think there will always be a market for a guy that can score the basketball and be a good teammate. And I think the last part of it is when Carmelo gets interviewed by different teams, they will be trying to ascertain if he can be a good teammate, right? And if he can be a good teammate, I don't think people question his talent on the offensive side of the ball. I think they question, A, is he coachable? And B, can he be a good teammate? Because if you're coachable and you can be a good teammate, then there's a place for you in this league. I think what's happened to him in Houston, unfortunately, is that people question if he's coachable or can he be a good teammate. And the last part, last question I got is, do you think Wojo knew before Carmelo.
Probably.
Yeah.
I think Carmelo knew this was coming because procedurally they had to get it done today.
And that
Probably
was
something
just
was
a
going to
joke
happen.
because Wojo's so good.
Yeah.
You know, he always has the scoop.
Yeah,
Well, here's the
Woj
potential.
broke it to Melo. He called
Yeah,
Woj.
did-
Yeah,
and
you know, you get
Very well
credit.
might.
Yeah.
Here are the potential cons on this from Carmelo Anthony. He's coming off his worst season as a pro last year. He's 34 going on 35. He's only played 2 games so far this season. How many teams are interested in that guy? I guess if you're a borderline team and you need something off your bench and he's willing to be that guy, maybe you take a chance?
Well, I don't know. I'm just going to be honest. I look at him as a defensive liability right now. He's not able to guard. In a switching league where everybody's getting out and doing so much switching, the length and the ability to move your feet, block shots, just be disruptive defensively is huge. He's never been disruptive defensively. He's always been an average to poor defender.
Yeah.
And then you hit on the biggest things, Zeke. You're just saying, if I'm a young team, okay, and you know we're struggling a little bit, maybe to score some points, and he might help us in that area. Do I want to bring him into our locker room? And is he going to be a positive influence on all these young guys that you're trying to explain to them? It's not about putting up numbers. It's about putting up wins.
Yeah.
It's not about how many numbers you can get. It's how good you can make your teammate. It's not all about you. It's about us. A little less me, a lot more we. Does he fit into that? And if I mean, if you're a GM, there's a lot of questions you got to ask yourself with that guy.
Well, we'll find out soon enough. He's expected to be released today. The deal won't go through formally today because it's a holiday, probably tomorrow, and then he'll become a free agent available to anybody, and we'll see what the market is for 34-year-old Carmelo Anthony.
Okay, the only question on that is the animal going to shoot threes in Houston? Everybody else shoots them.
Well, yeah, that's you either going to shoot a 3 or you're going to shoot a layup. And
He can have a lot of layups and
I think
dunks,
he's the
okay.
layup part of that equation.
well, in his mind, I'm sure he's been working on his
It's 3. Oh, I like to see that. I can't wait. He's like, here we go, baby.
The big man's dream, right? It's like, I finally find a coach who's going to let me shoot the 3, and I'm going to prove to all of you that I can shoot the 3.
There you go.
Figures to get some of Clint Capella's minutes. Of course, Capella is out for the next few weeks for the Rockets. They are playing very small here lately. Let's bounce around. 4th straight win for the Bucks, who have now won 16 of their last 19. One of the headlines, though, is Doncic becomes the 2nd teenager ever to record a triple-double.
Okay, and we missed the whole lead on this whole story. There was 2 Antetokounmpos arm in arm before the game. You know that picture they had?
Yeah.
How often can you say 2 Antetokounmpos? I mean, 1 Antetokounmpo is hard enough to say, but when you throw 2 Antetokounmpos out there.
I believe the plural is Antetokounmpi.
Oh, Antetokounmpi.
We'll check
like
the research,
octopi.
but
Yeah, exactly. I hear it.
I just call him Giannis and Lil Giannis.
Giannis and Giannis' little brother.
Yeah, that's Lil Giannis right there.
Costas, by the way, was drafted last by the Mavericks, the 60th overall pick. Let's talk about Doncic here a little bit. He's putting up numbers 26 and 5. He would be the third rookie in NBA history to put up those numbers. The other 2 are Oscar Robertson and Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
If you're underestimating what Luka Doncic has done, it's pretty remarkable.
It's remarkable and impressive, and it's real. You know, this isn't a fluke.
Right.
He's not having a good month. He's not having a good couple of weeks. I mean, he's the real deal, and he's only going to get better.
Yep.
And he also has, in my opinion, the perfect coach for him in Rick Carlisle, because Carlisle has put him in positions where he can be successful. Not only has he put him in positions where he can be successful, but he's moved him all around the floor, and he's letting him use the total, repertoire of all his skills. So I like what Luka, I like who Luka is, and I like what Carlisle has really done and the way the team has bought into him.
Yeah, the reason that it's real, he plays at his own pace. He just goes fast when he wants to go fast. Other than that, he takes his time. He sees the entire court. I mean, to do the ball fakes he does, he gets guys, he does the okey-doke, puts it over their head,
Yeah.
and brings it back, and then shoots it, or puts it over their head. He's so calm with the ball. Yeah. He's made really big shots for this team when they needed him in crunch situations. But yet, he sees the court so well. You see some guys that come in our league and they just play 100 miles an hour, and their speed kind of gets everybody. He just plays at his own pace. And when you play at your own pace, the more you get accustomed to the league and the more you get comfortable, the better you play. So he's just going to get better. because he's doing it. He's doing it with this. I mean, he's got a really high basketball IQ, knows how to play. So I'm looking forward to it, and I think you're right. I think Coach Carlisle does a tremendous job with him. Now, can they incorporate Smith back in the fold and get Dennis Smith playing well with him? Because I think that Smith's a heck of an athlete, should be able to play off him. And if they can get that thing solved, that's two nice young pieces.
Very nice young pieces.
For Dallas to grow with. But
and I think Smith, skill-wise, really complements Luka because, he's athletic, he's electrifying, he can do things in the air, he can bring the crowd into it, he can handle the ball sometimes, he can run Luka off. So, I mean, skill-wise, they really fit. Now, chemistry-wise, do they fit? And when you have two young players like that, sometimes it doesn't work out because personalities do clash. But Luka's the real deal.
If you've been following this story, you know that Dennis Smith Jr. has been away from the team. He's missed 5 games in a row now, apparently just because he's unhappy about his role and about the way Rick Carlisle has used him, and perhaps about the way Rick Carlisle has coached Luka Doncic relative to the way he's been coached. They expect him to return to the team and be back by Tuesday. You just saw the Magic